Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sydney. If you are new here, I welcome you. I am a Poshmark seller. I've been selling on the app for about 5 years now, and I was a closet consultant at PoshFest. I make a lot of videos about selling on Poshmark, making money, things like that. Today we are going to talk about a news article that broke a few days ago from the New York Post. It's probably one of the craziest things that I have ever read, but I feel like it's necessary to talk about it because I feel like there's a lot that you can learn from it. So we're going to talk about that. Make sure you check out the description box down below if you want to join my Poshmark Facebook group. I have a free training video for you guys as well down there linked. It's about ways to get free Poshmark inventory, and my Instagram and all that good stuff is also linked in the description box. So let's talk about this news article that broke just a few days ago. It is posted on the New York Post website. I will also link this article down below so that you can read it for yourself. Because of the nature of this article, there's a lot of things that I cannot say on YouTube because it's a little bit risque, if we want to say that. So basically there is a seller who sold this Versace coat to someone who is also a seller on Poshmark. So a person bought this Versace coat, they received it, they ordered this Versace coat, they received it, and if you are not familiar with the way Poshmark's return policy works, they actually don't allow returns. So the only way someone can return something is if the item was not as described. So the person who bought this coat receives it, it has undisclosed damage on it, and so they opened a case. You have to open a case on Poshmark and submit evidence that it was damaged and submit pictures and all of that good stuff, and Poshmark approved this return. So like I said, normally Poshmark does not allow returns for fit or anything like that. All sales on Poshmark are final unless the seller has not disclosed something about the item. So Poshmark did allow this person to return the item. In this New York Post article, the seller claims when she received the item back that the item was damaged further and that the item was not in the condition that she sent it in. It was covered in a questionable substance, which I will let you read for yourself. I cannot talk about that on my YouTube video, but she said it was in disgusting condition. So a button was missing off of it, other things were on it. Yeah. So there's just all of this stuff in this article. She did report how she received the coat back. She reported this to Poshmark. She said that she received a series of automated responses and they issued her a $60 credit. Then it goes on that they talked with Poshmark. It also says that they tested this coat, that they tested the substance on this coat to prove what they thought that it was, and that it tested positive. It also has the name of the person who returned the coat. And so I was reading this article and it just seemed very bizarre to me. Like everything just seemed very, very bizarre. Obviously things happen when, you know, you're dealing with people from the internet. Anything can happen. But now apparently this person is now scared for their life. They took it off of Poshmark. They actually apparently started communicating via Facebook, which is not a good thing. So they did alert the police as to what was going on, and it has just been this entire situation. So obviously there are two sides to every story. So it does list the person who returned the coat in the news article. So I went to their closet, and they actually have a post about this in their closet, and they have screenshots of the case and what was said in the case, and they have apparently this girl who was selling the coat got the coat from a trade, and it was already damaged prior to her selling it. So there's just a lot up in the air about this story. So, you know, it's kind of like a he said, she said kind of thing, but there are some very, very big takeaways that you can get from this news story about Poshmark. So first of all, I do want to say that I've been selling on Poshmark for 5 years, since 2014, and this is not an accurate representation of Poshmark. This is not an accurate representation of what Poshmark stands for. This news article, it's very bizarre. It's very just kind of out there in left field. So I have never heard of anything like this happening. Apparently, obviously, these two were arguing, and both were just not happy. They were just not happy in the situation. So there are some key takeaways that you can get from this story about Poshmark. First of all, if you are a Poshmark seller and you are communicating with people and your customers, you want to keep everything on Poshmark. You don't want to take anything off of Poshmark. If you take anything off of Poshmark, they cannot help you, which is why in the article it actually says they talked with Poshmark, and because these people took it to Facebook and they were communicating outside of the app, Poshmark is not liable for that. So Poshmark is not going to help you if you take any sort of communication off of Poshmark. So if you have an issue, you have to keep all of that communication on the Poshmark app in order for them to be able to assist you. Second, you do not want to get personal with people in cases. If somebody opens up a Poshmark case, you just want to be civil. Be civil with this person. They're probably already annoyed if they have received an item that they didn't like, or for whatever reason they're opening this case. But you just want to state facts. You know, if you feel like you accurately portrayed your item, then say that in the case, and don't get personal with people. Don't argue with people. Don't, you know, call each other names. Nothing like that. Just be civil and be professional, and just, you know, state facts, and that's it. Like I said, the person is probably already annoyed, so that you don't want to further annoy somebody. So if you have sold something to someone and they're not happy with it, that is retail. That happens in retail. It just is a fact of life. So don't encourage somebody, or don't say things that are going to provoke somebody to further become angry. Next, you need to get a P.O. box. If you are going to sell things online, you 100% need to get a P.O. box. There's no reason that you need to be sending your address out to people. If you're going to be selling things online, go and get a cheap P.O. box. I think it's like 30 bucks for 6 months or something like that. Just get the smallest one to maintain your privacy and to maintain your safety. It's very, very important that you maintain privacy if you are going to be present on the internet. But like I said, this is not an accurate representation of Poshmark. I honestly feel bad for both parties involved, because it just sounds like a huge mess to me. This girl claims that she quit selling on Poshmark. Also, if you go to this other person's closet, they are still obviously selling things on Poshmark, and this is a form of income for them. So, you know, just, you want to have empathy towards people. I feel bad for both parties involved, because this is not what Poshmark is supposed to be. Poshmark is a very positive selling community. I have sold on multiple platforms, and it's my favorite selling platform. Obviously, I have all these videos on YouTube about it. So, you know, this is not an accurate representation of what Poshmark is. The Poshmark community has always been a very positive, uplifting place, and I do hope that this article does not taint that in any way. So I just wanted to kind of share this story with you guys and what you can learn from it. If you have any questions or anything to say, leave them down in the comments below. Please keep it clean. Like I said, I'll link this news article in the description box so that you guys can read it for yourselves and see what you think. But don't go jumping to accuse people or anything like that. I do hope that both parties can work and get this resolved and be civil towards each other. So that's my video for today, and I will see you guys in the next one.